Hare Krishna. Today being the Bhishma Ashtami, the most auspicious holy appearance day of Pitamah Bhishma Dev, the central figure of Mahabharat, the grandfather of Gurus and one of the pure devotees, Mahajana. So in the remembrance of Bhishma Dev, I would like to seek blessings from everyone so that I can speak about the glories of Bhishma Dev on this most auspicious day. So once upon a time, there was a great yajna that was performed in Brahmaloka, and this was organized by Brahmaji. Now, while the yajna was performed by Brahmaji, he invited all the great sages, great kings, all the great devatas, and also the most celestial rivers like Mother Ganga. So now, while the yajna was going on, we can see that one of the most very important king by name Mahabharat, he also was present in this yajna, and he was casting his glance on Mother Ganga. And even Mother Ganga, she was casting her glance towards Mahabharat. And this scene was seen by Brahmaji. We all know Brahmaji has 4 heads, right? So he could see that both of us having a mutual attraction. And he said that this is not the place where you're supposed to have this kind of attraction in the midst of yajna. Now Brahmaji called both of them and he said, now that you have a mutual attractions in the midst of this yajna, which is not the right place, so I as a Brahma curse you that both of you take birth as a human being in the earthly planet. And both of them accepted this curse. And Brahmaji asked Mahabharat, where do you want to take birth? And he said, I want to take birth in a Chandravamsha family. There's a great king by name Pratip. I want to take birth as a son of King Pratip. And Brahmaji said, Tathastu. And we know what happened. He became the son of King Pratip, that is Shantanu Maharaj. Now, as we know the story of Shantanu Maharaj, even Mother Ganga also appeared in this earthly planet, and she appeared like a young, beautiful girl. And you can see, even in that situation, Shantanu Maharaj got attracted to this young girl, and he said, he gave a proposal, I want to marry you. And Ganga Devi accepted the proposal, and later on Ganga Devi revealed herself. Hey, look, I am the Mother Ganga. She revealed her actual identity while she was standing on the crocodile in the banks of Ganges. And this is how we can see that Mother Ganga getting married to Shantanu Maharaj. But here's the hitch. What is that? Mother Ganga said, you can marry me under 2 conditions. What is that? The first condition is that you should not ask any questions. You should not ask any questions in whatever I'm doing. You should not stop me whatever I'm doing. And second thing is that you should never become angry on me. You should never speak rudely or harshly on me. So after Shantanu got married to Ganga Devi, surely enough they got the first child, and Shantanu Maharaj was very happy to see the child. And then we know what happened. Ganga Devi, she just took the child and she dropped it in the Ganges. And now Shantanu could have stopped her, but there was a condition. So now this happened 7 times, one after another, one after another. And when the 8th child, when she did the same thing, just like we can see Kamsa snatching the child from the hands of Mother Devaki. So even here we can see that Ganga Devi, she's taking out the child from the hands of Shantanu and she's dropping the child in the Ganges. So when it came to the 8th child, Shantanu Maharaj raised his voice. He started questioning and speaking harshly towards Mother Ganga. You crazy lady, you cruel-hearted lady, what kind of mother you are? You're throwing one after another. And this is the 8th child. Stop, I cannot take this. On what basis are you doing this? You have to stop immediately. And you know what happened? Ganga Devi, she took a divorce from Shantanu. He said, You go your way and I go my way, because you have broken both the conditions. You're not supposed to ask me what I'm doing, and you're not supposed to become angry, and you broke both my conditions. So I'm sorry, and now I'm going to go to my heavenly planets. At that time, a very beautiful reality was revealed. Ganga Devi, she spoke. There is a reason why I am doing. Ganga Devi revealed herself that she is Mother Ganga standing on the crocodile, and she also said the babies are safe. Let us know what the history talks from the pages of Mahabharata. Ganga Devi said, once upon a time, Vasishtha Muni was in Samadhi, and he had a beautiful a cow, a Kamadhenu Surabhi cow. And the beauty of this cow is that the milk is very nectarian. Anybody who drinks the milk, they would live young forever. And anybody who drinks this milk, all their desires at once get fulfilled. Do you know, even Indra and Vishwamitra also made an attempt to steal this, but they couldn't succeed. So you can see Vasishtha Muni was in Samadhi, and even the cow was not tied to the pole. And this was a time where the Vasus were passing through the Vasishtha Muni's ashram. Now, who are these Vasus? Vasus are the lineage among the demigods, Devtas. Just like we have 12 Adityas, 12 in number, and we have 11 Rudras, the expansion of Lord Shiva. So they had 8 Vasus, Ashtavasus. So out of these Ashtavasus, there was the 8th Vasu, whose name was Dio. His name was Dio, and his wife wanted that cow. And the 8th Vasu, asked the 7 brothers, the 7 Vasus, that let us chalk out some plan and let us try to steal this cow. And 7 brothers said, yes brother, whatever you say, we'll follow you. And when these things was going on, Vasishtha Muni just opened his eyes, and by the power of his meditation, he could understood that these people are trying to steal my cow. And immediately he cursed that you all take birth as a human being and take birth in a earthly planet, because you don't behave like a Devatas. The moment Vasishtha Muni cursed, all the Vasus, they asked, please Muni, please forgive us. Vancha kalpatarubhescha kripa sindhubhe vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. They started pleading for forgiveness, and we know Vasishtha Muni immediately said, of course, I cannot take the curse back, but I can reduce the effect of this curse. The first 7 Vasus who assisted, they will take birth on earth and they will die soon, and their lifespan will be very insignificant. But the 8th Vasu, whose name was Dio, he will have a long life. Also, in that long life, he will not have a Stri Sangha Sukhi. I mean to say, he will not derive any happiness from women. Now, why this is happening? Because this 8th Vasu was a person who actually shouted out. He was the one who actually planned to steal this cow. And we can see Vasishtha Muni has cursed in this way that all the 7 Vasus, they will take birth, but immediately, they will die. But whereas when it comes to 8th Vasu, he has to wait for a very long life. He will not have a Stri Sangha Sukha. That means he will not derive any happiness from a woman. And Vasishtha Muni also blessed all these 8 Vasus that you will all take birth as sons of Mother Ganga, that's Ganga Devi. And that is how we can see Ganga Devi on the banks of Ganges. She mercilessly butchered all the 7 babies, but then we know the reality that the 7 kids, they died immediately and they went back to their actual position as Vasus, as Devatas. But the 8th child had to wait for a long time, and that 8th child was Devavrata. Shantanu said, I have already lost all the 7 babies. Now I have the 8th baby. What will I do? You take this baby and you train them in the Swarga Loka. You get the best rishis and you can teach them the warfare. So after many years, one day Shantanu Maharaj was sitting on the bank of Ganges, and he was remembering Mother Ganga, and he was surprised to see that moment the current flow of the Ganges, the flow of the water was very peaceful, and amazingly he saw that the flow of water was going backwards. And now he was surprised, and he was trying to see the source from where this water is going backwards. Shantanu Maharaj was amazed to see this personality whose age was just 32, and he was shooting an arrow on the water, and the water was going towards the backside. And immediately he got disappeared. And now Shantanu Maharaj was surprised. He closed his eyes and he was praying to Ganga Devi, asking, who is this person? Please reveal to me. And then we can see, Ganga Devi appearing in the bank of Ganges, and she heard saying that Shantanu Maharaj, he is our 8th son, and he's been blessed by all the Devatas. And that's why we know that his name was Deva Vrata. He is the most charismatic, capable, and I think this is the right time that he will now assist you, Shantanu Maharaj. And by saying this, Mother Ganga goes back to heavenly planet. One day, Shantanu Maharaj went for hunting, and he saw one young, beautiful girl, and he was very attracted to her. And he asked her, can you please tell me who you are? She said, my name is Matsya, and I am a daughter of a fisherman. And immediately, he was so much mesmerized with the beauty of this girl. He asked her that, can you please marry me? What are your conditions? And he said, I have only one condition. What is that? You should ask my father. Now this Matsya is Satyavati. Satyavati was the name which was given to her by Parashara Muni. Satyavati was previously called as Matsya. Matsya because Matsya means fish and Gandha means the fragrance. So Matsya, her main job was she was rowing the boat from one side to another side, and whenever she was doing this, the boat was filled with fishes, and because that was her business, the obnoxious smell was coming from her body, and that's why her name was Matsya, and that was her profession. But once she was very greatly fortunate to assist Parashara Muni, because her job was to row the boat from one side to another side. So one day Parashara Muni sat in the boat. He said, can you help me to cross over other side? And we know Matsya agreed that yes, I'll be happy to cross over the boat. While crossing over the boat, one thing I want to tell you, Prabhupada often quotes about Parashara Muni. He talks more about Parashara Muni, Prabhupada, because we all know Parashara Muni is the one who gave the definition of God. We all know Krishna is all attractive. He has 6 opulence. K for knowledge, K R for renunciation, I for influence, that's fame, K R I, S for strength, H for handsome, and A for affluence. Okay, N means who's non-envious. So if you're not envious, you get Krishna. So you see, Parashara Muni is the one who gave the 6 opulence, the definition of God by the inspiration of Paramatma in the heart of Parashara Muni. He said to Matsya that very soon the supreme avatar is going to take birth. He is going to compile Vedas. He is going to come as a Shakti Avesh avatar, and that needs a medium. O Devi, will you please accept this service? And Matsya immediately said yes. Interestingly, we can see with the potency of, with the spiritual potency of Parashara Muni, he made Matsya pregnant, and a very beautiful boy was delivered, and that was Vyasadeva. At the same time, Parashara Muni also blessed this Matsya that you would always remain as a Kanya forever, and also since from your body there was a fish smell that was coming, but now instead of the fish smell there will be a fragrance, there will be a beautiful aroma that would be coming from your body. These were the blessings that she got from Parashara Muni. And we know the son was Vyasadeva. Now because the child was taken birth in the Dvipa island, so his name will be Daipayana. And because he's black in complexion, he'll be called as Krishna. And because he could elaborately compile the Vedas, he would be called as Vyasa. That is Krishna Vaipayana Vyasa. Now since Parashara Muni has blessed her with these two boons, that you would always smell fragrant, and also you will remain as a Kanya forever. So he changed the name of Matsyagandha to Satyavati, and now that's how her name became Satyavati. And the moment the child was born, he said to Mother Satyavati, "Thank you so much for giving this birth. Now Krishna is my Mata, Krishna is my Mata, Krishna is my Pita, and Krishna is everything." He said like that, and he left. And while leaving, he said one thing: "Mother, whenever you are in need, just remember me, I will come." So she got the father, and father said, "See, you are a king, and we are just a fisherman. So look at your status and look at our status. You are a king, and we are just a fisherman. So even if you marry my daughter, what is the guarantee that you will make my daughter, as a queen? What is the guarantee that you will make my daughter's son as a king? And Shantanu Maharaj promised, that I'll make sure that your daughter will be the queen. When it comes to the king, then Shantanu Maharaj was quite silent, because he knew that he already had a son by name Devavrata, who was 32 years old. And now how can he, because he has already declared to everyone that he is going to be the next Yuvraj, he is going to be the next king, and now now he don't know exactly what to say. He was a little disappointed. Face is the index of mind. So when Shantanu Maharaj, he went back to the kingdom, he was looking very pale. He was looking very disappointed. So all the ministers asked, "Shantanu Maharaj, what happened? Why are you looking so disappointed? What brings you such a great misfortune on your face?" And he was like quite not speaking. But after some time, he broke out the tears and he revealed the truth to all these ministers. And this was heard by Devavrata, the son of Shantanu. And immediately he left that place and he went to meet Satyavati's father. And he said, that my father wants to marry your daughter. So please marry her, and I will promise you that all your conditions will be fulfilled. So you can please ask Satyavati to get married to my father Shantanu Maharaj. Now there's a big confusion. The confusion is that you said, you will make Satyavati as a queen and also her son as a king. But now, since you're not married, if you get married, your son will claim that I want to be the king. So this is creating more problem, and that is where Devavrata spoke like this: "I, Devavrata, on this day, by touching the holy water of Ganga in front of all of you, although I'm a Kshatriya, I take a promise to remain a lifelong celibacy. I will not marry at all. I will remain as a brahmachari all my life." When Devavrata spoke like this to Satyavati's father, that I will promise you, I will remain as a brahmachari and I will protect and I will guard. When the Devatas heard this, they started showering flowers from the heavenly planet by saying, "Bhishma, Bhishma." Bhishma means terrific. Generally, Kshatriya, they marry multiple wives. But now here we can see, a true Kshatriya has taken birth. That's how we can see the name Devavrata was replaced. And seeing this outstanding sacrifice of Bhishma, Shantanu Maharaj was so pleased, and he said, "I'm going to give you a boon, and the boon is that you will have a Ichcha Mrityu." I mean to say, you can die only when you desire that you want to die. Now Shantanu Maharaj married Satyavati, and very soon Satyavati gave birth to two children. One was Chitranga, one was Vichitravirya, and Bhishma Dev gave him full protection. He trained him, he guarded him, did everything. And when the two boys came to the age of marriage, it was Bhishma Dev. He said that I will take the full responsibility. I know whom they should get married. And there was a Swayamvara that took place in Kashi Raj. And it was Bhishma Dev who went there, and he fought single-handedly, and he kidnapped these three girls of Kashi Raj. And they were Amba, Ambika and Ambalika. Now when Bhishma Dev took these three girls to his place, he asked Chitranga and Vichitravirya to choose one among them. And that is how Amba, she spoke. She said, I only have a boyfriend. I have a love with Shalva, and Shalva loves me, and I want to marry him, and he wants to marry me. And then Bhishma Dev said, oh, that's it. Oh. Then Bhishma said, oh, really? Then you can marry him. You can go from here. And then what happened? Amba went back to the kingdom, and he asked, and she gave a proposal to Shalva. But Shalva said, I cannot accept you because you've already been touched by Bhishma Dev. Now the situation became so horrifying that Amba, she's either with Shalva or either she's with Bhishma. And Bhishma said, I cannot marry you because I have taken a vrat. What was that vrat? Naishtika Brahmachari. So now Amba really, she became completely paranoid. She became very angry. So she thought, I want to destroy Bhishma. And what she did, she went and approached the superior. I mean to say, she went and approached the guru of Bhishma Dev, and that is Parashuram. Meanwhile, we know that Chitranga, he died before marriage and he has no child, and Vichitravirya, he died after marriage but he was childless. Now somebody has to continue the tenacity. She spoke to Bhishma Dev. She said to Bhishma Dev, I already have a son. I already have a son before this marriage. And Bhishma Dev was surprised. What are you saying? Say once again. And then she revealed everything. And she told that I have a son by name Vasudev. And he said, whenever you're in trouble, just remember me, I will come. And immediately Bhishma Dev made all the arrangement. He said, please call him. And he called Ambika and Ambalika, and he asked Vasudev to please, do the needful. And we know Vasudev, he approached Ambika, but Ambika felt, you look like a very skinny. She was trying to do like this, and she said, because you are behaving like this, I will grant you a son, but he'll be blind, and that will be Dhritarashtra. And then when he approaches Ambalika, she said, that I thought my husband will be very, handsome, but you look very, different, and I'm a little fearful. Then Vasudeva blessed her, because you're very fearful and you feel that I'm very pale, so I will bless you a son, who will be born like a pale, and that will be Pandu, who will be also very fearful. And then he said there was also another woman by name Amba. But these two, Ambika and Ambalika, by fear, they just bought one maid servant, and he said, take her, and then, what happened, he saw, Vasudev saw that this girl was very submissive. She touched the feet of Vasudev, and Vasudev was very happy, and he blessed her that you'll have a son, and he will be very wise, and he'll be very intelligent, and his name will be Vidura. So we can see how Vasudeva impregnated all these three women, and all of us got a different child. One was Dhritarashtra, who was blind, one was Pandu, who was very fearful, and one was Vidura, who was very wise. When Amba went to Parashuram, who was the guru of Bhishma Dev, actually Parashuram gave shelter to Amba. And he said, because he's my disciple, you have to listen to me. So he calls his disciple, Bhishma. He said, Bhishma Dev, you have to marry her, or else you have to fight with me. Bhishma Dev said, Bhishma said, Guruji, I have taken a vrat of a brahmachari. So if you want me to fight, I will follow your orders. So let's fight. The fight went for 23 days, and finally Bhishma Dev took a special astra called Pashupati Astra, and this was like, he took that astra, that is Pashupati Astra, and he went to shoot towards Parshuram, and all the devatas, stop, that will be a big offense to Pashupatinath, Lord Shiva, so don't do that. And immediately, you can see Bhishma Dev, he bow downs to Parshuram, and he leaves that place. And now Amba became more furious, because what she expected did not happen. So she did more tapasya. She did tapasya more in such a way that she can take the blessings of Lord Shiva himself. And Lord Shiva blessed her, that Devi, I'm going to give you a boon. So this boon will be the cause of Bhishma's death. So we can see how this Amba, later on, she became the Shikandi, and she was the cause of Bhishma's death. So we can see how Pandavas, they were not able to defeat Bhishma Dev. And Arjuna, he himself went to, Bhishma Dev and asked him, what is the secret? How can I fight? And how can I kill you? And Bhishma Dev said that you bring Shikandi in front of me, and when she is there, because generally I don't fight with a woman, so you bring her, and that time you shoot the arrows on me, and that way you can kill me. And that's how we can see that Shikandi became the cause of Bhishma's death. So we can see Bhishma Dev, who took care for 4 generations as a grandfather. And because he wanted to please Krishna, he even took the role of a opposing party, Kauravas. And we all know that it was Bhishma Dev who revealed the secret by which Pandavas can kill Bhishma Dev. So we can see when Bhishma Dev was lying on the bed of arrows, the Kurus, the Kauravas, they bought a silk bed. But Bhishma Dev said, no, I need a Kshatriya style of a pillow. So he asked Arjuna to please shoot 3 arrows in such a way that I can rest my head on that. Even in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that Bhishma Dev was sleeping for 6 months. Not because he got the Icha Mrityu. He got the Icha Mrityu, but he was sleeping for 6 months only because he wanted to leave his body by taking darshan of the Supreme Lord while chanting the Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Such a wonderful personality, Bhishma Dev. But among all the wonderful qualities, the crest jewel quality was his devotion towards Krishna. We can also see in the Narada Bhakti Sutra, it is mentioned that Ananya Mamata Vishnu, Ananya Prema Sangite, Bhakti Iti Uchate, Bhishma Prahlada Narada. So we can see Ananya Mamata, means he had so much of devotion and affection towards Lord Krishna. The Narada Bhakti Sutra says Ananya Mamata Vishnu, means he was so much affection, he had so much of devotion towards Krishna. And what are the examples? Bhishma, Prahlada, Uddhava, Narada. Even in the 12 Mahajanas, we can see Bhishma's name is being uttered, because Bhishma Dev is also one of the great Mahajan. When you go to Kurukshetra, we can see there is a special kund called Bhishma Kund. That was a kund where when Bhishma Dev was very thirsty, Arjuna left the arrow, and from that the Ganga water appeared, and that was how Bhishma Dev quenched his thirst. There's a place in Vrindavan, few kilometers away from Mathura. On the way to Govardhan, there's a place called Shantanu Kund. There was a place where Shantanu Maharaj did tapasya to get a virtuous devotee, son like a Bhishma. And we can see how Bhishma Deva, he took a decision that tomorrow is a day where I'm going to kill Arjuna, or I'm going to make Krishna to break his vow. We all know Krishna took a vow that he will not take any weapon. And we can see that just to save his devotee, Krishna did broke the promise to save his pure devotee Arjuna by lifting that broken wheel of the chariot, he went chasing towards Bhishma Dev. So on this day, let us remember Bhishma Dev. Let us pray wherever we are, whatever we are doing, that we imbibe the spirit of surrender. We imbibe the spirit of pleasing Krishna, satisfying Krishna in all times, in all circumstances. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Bhishma Dev ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Bol.